So, after watching all that competition, what do you think?
I think you guys are right where you belong.
Anyone get a walk-in spot?
Huh? No. No, this was fun. I appreciate everybody coming out. And it's funny, as I'm actually watching that, it's sometimes, and maybe you can put perspective on it, sometimes it's easy, it looks really, really easy up there in the stands, and how actually hard this game is. So it's fun to come out and do this.
How are Shaps and McEwen progressing ahead of opening day?
Well, I mean, right now, McEwen is we're just taking it easy with him. He's going to get back throwing this week. We'll probably try to do a little simulated stuff before we get to Friday just to crank him up. He's just going to have to play through it. I mean, it's what it is. Shap, same thing. We'll get him back out there tomorrow in practice and get him cranked up. He took a pretty good one to the shoulder last week, but those guys, they'll be fine and healthy this week.
Have you decided opening day starter yet?
Yeah, I mean, right now we'll go Lingos on Friday, and we'll roll with it from there.
What's the most important thing you could do with new guys like this?
Well, I think the most important thing for us in general with all the new guys is how we come together, blend as a team. I was speaking earlier at the luncheon today, and I was thinking about, man, we're going to be pretty old, but we're going to be old, but we're going to have so many new guys at positions. So the young guys, I think the quicker that they can learn and feel comfortable and not try to impress, which is very easy to do when you're at a place like this, I think the sooner they settle in, the better off we're going to be, because there's some talent in that young group.
How do you see the back end of the bullpen shaping up at this point? Do you have a guy yet? You've talked about
Well,
that throughout the process?
I mean, our plan right now would be nice if we can get a couple swing and miss guys at the end. Montoya, has shown the ability to do that. Eder, I think, had a really good, good last year for us. He's proven in that regard. So that's kind of what we like, the option of having those two guys at the back end with the good slider.
So, go ahead. Thanks. With the young team or relatively new team that you have, has any leaders evolved yet? Have you found some leadership?
Well, I mean, anytime there's kind of that passing of the torch. Sometimes just by age, because even some of our experienced guys haven't played a lot. I think Zach Serbo is really trying on the leadership part, particularly out of the catching position. I think he's done a good job with that. Eli Lingos, from the pitching standpoint, doesn't really say a lot, but he goes out there every day and works at it from that standpoint. But that's something, frankly, we as a staff talk about every day, that we'd like to see some guys emerge at that. But I think that's going to happen early in the season as we get out here in competition and start seeing real adversity. And I think that leadership the more on-field leadership and more player-led leadership will develop.
As far as who is the edge at catcher, is it going to be Serbo or one of the freshmen?
Right now we have Sam Ferry listed as our number one. The beautiful part about this year's catching corps is we got really three guys we think are legitimate number one guys at the Pac-12 level. So we feel pretty good about that. But just overall, right now, if you're to ask me who our number one is, and those things could change with time, I would say Friday night, Sam Ferry. We'll go with him number one at catcher.
Taking into account what's going on with Shaps, how do you see the opening night outfield shaping up?
Well, right now with Andrew Shaps, we're gonna start the season without him. We have some internal things, expectations, and right now with violation of team standards, we're actually going to sit. And the beautiful part, about college, sometimes when you're comparing it to some of the professional sports, is there can still be lessons taught in. So, we'll look at early in the season. Andrew's going to be suspended for things that I'm not going to comment on necessarily in the media, but things within our program that he has to get better on and will get better on. And so we're preparing for the first part of the season, first few games without him.
Would you look at Hunter Bishop or Gage Canning taking center field then to start on opening?
Yeah, Gage Canning, we've moved over. If you've watched any of the inter squads, we've had Gage playing out there, and he's played a really, really good center field. And I think down the road it's probably going to make us a little bit better. If you change, some guy's going to emerge. Some guy's going to get experience that they wouldn't normally get. So we feel comfortable with Canning out there. We're still trying to solve a little bit of the right field equation. We feel we have some capable guys, but it's really going to be, the most steady. And right now we're looking at, a couple freshmen in Denson and Bishop and sophomore Tyler Williams. But I think the thing with Shaps is going to be relatively short term. So hopefully we get back on track there and we get out there with our regular lineup.
You said this past weekend was going to be huge for deciding the third weekend starter spot. Have you decided one?
I tell you who's really come on has been Spencer Van Scoy. He's and I think he's going to push some guys for the top end of it too. He's just gotten better and better every week. So as we roll into the weekend, Spencer would be our Sunday guy with Hank sitting at number 2.
How's it been having Fred back on your coaching staff?
Freddie, Freddie. If you haven't gotten a chance to talk to Freddie, I recommend you do an interview with Freddie. It's great. We've known each other a long time. He's been on my staffs at Miami of Ohio. He's been on my staffs at Indiana, and certainly was here year 1 with us. And because of the well-documented change we made with the pitching staff, it's been nice to have somebody come in and be comfortable, that's familiar with a certain portion of our team. But he's one of the best baseball guys I've ever known. Again, his boys have played for me. I've known him. The whole Schwarber fascination across the country. He's Middletown. He's worked with Kyle quite a bit, so we've known each other over the years. But he's a great baseball guy who understands baseball at a high level, and he's so good for those kids in that locker room.
So your plan right now is to use Lillard at first and Lane at third?
No.
No?
Our plan right now is we're going to go Lillard and left. So Snow at third. McEwen right now at shortstop. Aldretti at second. Jackson Williford has a little bit of a hamstring thing he's dealing with. He's questionable right now. And then Lane at first. Yeah. So, and he actually, it was kind of by accident. We put him over because we've been so thin. We're bouncing guys around, and we stuck him over there because we're trying to. We're a little limited in the infield. I mean, our best hitters make up a lot of our infield, but trying to get that combination of Betts bats, Betts defense, and we just felt, we slid him over there one day, and the whole entire coaching staff were like, "Holy cow, that's probably his future." So he's done a really good job there.
So if Shafts comes back, then how would that work with Lillard? Would you?
We'll keep until he's gonna. That's a hitting position out there. We have some depth in the outfield. This stuff, and I'll qualify everything I've said. It's subject to change based on performance. But right now on that first night, and this is my fault. We have transfers, so Taylor transferred in. When we played the game in the fall, there's a legislative piece on a 4-2-4 transfer that we weren't aware of. The X amount of days have to pass. So the NCAA, he actually has to serve a 1-game suspension. So we'll put Lyle Lynn there at first base the first game, but Taylor Lane is our first baseman moving forward. But if Ryan keeps hitting like he's hit, he's got a pretty good chance to be our left fielder.
And if Bishop plays, then it would be in right field?
Yeah, I mean, he's shown a lot better in right field. He's going to push. I mean, his thing is he gets better every single day. I think the game's moving a little fast for him right now, but as soon as he calms down and just lets his abilities take over, it's pretty freakish stuff. But I think it's going to benefit him taking a deep breath and watching some of the other older guys and work his way in line.
When you look at last year's squad and then you look to today's squad, I mean, what has changed and what do you think you guys have gotten better at?
Well, we're deeper. I mean, I think we're deeper on the mound. Seth Martinez was, in my mind, he was going to keep you in every game on Friday. This is nothing against Eli or really any of the pitchers. It's more of a compliment. We don't feel like we have that, top first-round guy coming out, or at least we haven't seen so far on a Friday night. But what we do feel like is we have 8 to 10 guys who are all about the same, but that being pretty good. So I think that's different than last year. I thought we asked a lot of Eder Arribes out of the pen because our depth wasn't what it should be. So I think we've got more depth on the mound. I think our infield stuff, Carter Aldretti is playing phenomenal baseball right now. I think he's the ability to move around the diamond when Jackson Williford gets healthy. He was our starting second baseman. And then certainly we talked about the depth in the outfield. I think we're more athletic. The one thing we're not is we're not experienced. If you go on our opening day lineup, Ryan Lillard wasn't a regular for us in left. Gage Canning was not a regular for us in center, although he played right. We're going to have a new guy in center, so entire new outfield positionally. Snow didn't play third for us. New guy at third, new guy at short, new guy at second, new guy at first, and a new catcher. I guess that's 8. So we got new guys all around the diamond, but that's why I just keep saying this publicly. It's going to be fun for us to see this come together. There's talent out there. It just needs to come together with experience.